Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You know, the world of insurance can feel about as clear as a mudslide, right? But we're here to change that. We're all about digging deep into those often overlooked corners of insurance and bringing you clear, concise, and hopefully even somewhat entertaining insights. And today, we're tackling a big one: environmental liability insurance. Now, before your eyes glaze over and you click away to watch like cat videos or something, trust me, this is important stuff. Whether you're an entrepreneur running your own business, a contractor working on various sites, or just someone who cares about, the planet and responsible business practices, this video is for you. We're going to break down exactly what environmental liability insurance is, why it's not just for massive corporations, and how it can literally be a business lifesaver. Because let's face it, accidents happen, and when they involve the environment, the consequences can be, well, massive. So stick around and let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, what exactly environmental liability insurance? In the simplest terms, it's a type of insurance policy that protects businesses from the financial nightmare that can come with environmental damage. And we're not just talking about massive oil spills here, although those are definitely covered. This type of insurance covers a wide range of incidents, from accidental pollution to negligence that harms the environment. Think of things like a chemical spill at a factory, hazardous waste leaking from a construction site, or even something like a business unknowingly releasing pollutants into the air. Basically, if your business operations somehow end up contaminating the ground, water, or air and you're held responsible, this insurance is designed to have your back, at least financially. And trust me, the costs associated with environmental damage can be astronomical. We're talking cleanup costs, legal fees, potential fines, and even compensation to those affected by the pollution. Now you might be thinking, but John, I run a small, eco-conscious business. I would never do anything to harm the environment. And hey, I believe you. But here's the thing, accidents happen. Even with the best intentions and safety protocols in place, things can go wrong. A simple mistake, a faulty piece of equipment, or even an unexpected natural disaster can lead to environmental contamination. And when that happens, you don't want to be caught unprepared. Environmental liability insurance acts as a safety net, protecting your business from the financial fallout of these unforeseen events. All right, let's get into some real-world scenarios because, as they say, truth is often stranger than fiction. Imagine this. You're a contractor working on a new building project. Everything's going smoothly until, boom, your excavator hits something buried underground. Turns out it's an old, unmarked fuel tank, and now you've got a major fuel leak contaminating the soil and potentially even the groundwater. The cleanup costs alone could be in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And that's not even factoring in potential lawsuits from neighboring property owners whose land and health might be affected. Or picture this. You're running a small manufacturing plant and you've always strived to be environmentally conscious. But unbeknownst to you, a change in your manufacturing process leads to the release of a certain type of pollutant into the air. It's not something you can even see or smell, but it violates environmental regulations. Fast forward a few months, and you're hit with a hefty fine from the EPA. On top of that, nearby residents start experiencing health problems and, yep, you guessed it, lawsuits start piling up. These are just two examples, but the possibilities for environmental accidents are as diverse as the businesses out there. A dry cleaner could have a chemical spill, a gas station could have a leaking underground storage tank, a farm could experience fertilizer runoff into a nearby waterway. The point is, environmental risks are everywhere, and they don't discriminate based on the size of your business or even your best intentions. Let's break down the nitty-gritty of what environmental liability insurance typically covers. First and foremost, you've got your cleanup costs. This is a big one. We're talking about the expenses associated with removing pollutants, restoring the environment to its previous state, and meeting all those stringent regulatory requirements. Think hazardous waste disposal, soil remediation, groundwater treatment. It's not cheap. Next up, you've got coverage for third-party claims. This is where the insurance kicks in if someone decides to sue your business because of pollution or environmental damage you're alleged to have caused. Whether it's property damage, health issues, or even lost income due to the contamination. This part of the policy helps cover those costs. And let's be real, environmental lawsuits can get ugly, and by ugly, I mean expensive. But don't worry, environmental liability insurance also typically covers your legal defense costs. That means lawyer fees, expert witness fees, the whole shebang, even if you're ultimately found not liable for the damage. Now, depending on the specific policy, you might also have coverage for things like regulatory fines and penalties. Governments are pretty serious about environmental protection these days, and even small violations can result in some hefty fines. Some policies will help cover those costs, at least up to a certain limit. And finally, some policies even offer business interruption coverage. This means that if environmental damage forces you to temporarily shut down your business operations, the insurance might help cover lost income and ongoing expenses during that time. So, as you can see, environmental liability insurance provides a pretty comprehensive safety net for businesses facing potential environmental risks. Okay, by now you're probably starting to see why environmental liability insurance isn't just for those giant corporations with questionable environmental track records. It's relevant for businesses of all sizes, across all industries. Seriously, even if you think your business is low risk, the reality is environmental regulations are only getting stricter. Governments around the world are cracking down on polluters, and even minor infractions can result in significant fines and penalties. And let's not forget the unpredictable nature of, nature itself. Natural disasters like floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes can cause environmental damage, even if your business operations weren't directly responsible. Then there's the simple fact that accidents happen even to the most well-intentioned and safety-conscious businesses. A small mistake, a faulty piece of equipment, or even an employee error can have major environmental consequences. And the costs associated with those consequences, as we've discussed, can be absolutely crippling. Cleanup costs alone can bankrupt a small business. But it's not just about the financial risks either. Environmental damage can seriously tarnish your business's reputation. In today's world, where consumers are increasingly eco-conscious, a single environmental mishap can lead to boycotts, negative press, and a loss of trust that's hard to rebuild. Environmental liability insurance can help you manage a crisis effectively, demonstrating your commitment to responsible environmental practices and protecting your brand's hard-earned reputation. All right, before we wrap things up, let's address a few common myths surrounding environmental liability insurance because, let's face it, the insurance industry isn't exactly known for its clarity. Myth number 1. I'm already covered for environmental incidents under my general liability insurance policy. Now, while it's true that some general liability policies offer limited pollution coverage, most specifically exclude environmental incidents, or they offer such minimal coverage that it's practically useless in a real environmental crisis. So, no, your general liability policy is probably not enough. Myth number 2. Environmental liability insurance is only for big polluters, like oil companies and chemical plants. Nope, not even close. As we've seen, even small-scale accidents can lead to significant environmental damage and equally significant costs. Contractors, property managers, manufacturers, even small businesses like dry cleaners and auto repair shops all face environmental risks. And finally, myth number 3. Environmental liability insurance is way too expensive, especially for a small business. This is a common misconception, but the truth is, the cost of having it is far greater. Think about it. Would you rather pay a relatively affordable annual premium or risk facing hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in cleanup costs, legal fees, and potential fines? Policies are often customizable to fit your specific needs and risk profile, making them more affordable than you might think. In the grand scheme of things, environmental liability insurance is a small price to pay for the peace of mind it provides. So, there you have it. Environmental liability insurance isn't just for big industries. It's for any business that wants to protect itself from the unexpected, comply with regulations, and safeguard its reputation. And in a world where environmental awareness is more crucial than ever, it's not just about protecting your business, it's about being a responsible member of the community and the planet. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights on insurance and legal advice. We've got a lot more to unpack in the world of risk management. And hey, got questions or want me to cover a specific topic? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.